This morning, the Emergency Management Committee of Cabinet decided to support an expansion of the network of homeless shelters across Alberta to help them cope safely with the threat of the COVID virus. Implementation of shelter pandemic plans is underway across the province. In Edmonton, Hope Mission and Mustard Seed have identified community spaces to allow extra space between individuals required for social distancing and surge capacity. The Expo Centre will be activated as a location for people with illness. Measures will also be put in place to allow for a separate area of surge capacity for those who are not showing signs or symptoms of COVID-19. Staffing will be coordinated by Homeward Trust and with health services provided by Alberta Health Services. In Calgary, the Mustard Seed and Calgary Drop-In Centre have identified additional sites to meet the shortfall due to social distancing. The City of Calgary and the Drop-In Centre are working with Community and Social Services of Alberta to book hotels for additional surge capacity space. In Red Deer, the Mustard Seed will continue to operate their shelter in their existing location. Safe Harbor will relocate to a larger consolidated centre effective immediately, which can accommodate social distancing and surge capacity. In Lethbridge, the shelter is repurposing space in the current location to allow for the new additional requirements, and the City of Lethbridge has identified other space for surge capacity. In Grand Prairie, the shelter is currently seeking alternate locations. And all of these expanded homeless shelters will be supported by the additional $30 million of support that our government announced earlier this week, part of our $60 million COVID Civil Society Fund. The actions I am announcing today and in the coming days are designed to ensure that our domestic energy industry gets through the price collapse and will assure Canada's security of supply in the long term. First, the Government of Alberta is waiving the industry levy for the Alberta Energy Regulator for 6 months. This action will provide industry relief totaling $113 million. Second, we are extending the term of mineral agreements expiring in 2020 by 1 year. This will bolster certainty in the industry by providing time to raise capital and develop future plans. These actions are in addition to others that we've recently undertaken to protect jobs and incomes in the energy sector, including the recently announced $100 million loan to the Orphan Well Association that will create up to 500 jobs in remediating and completing wells while reducing environmental liabilities, and many other actions we've taken, including the deferral on corporate income taxes, and more measures will follow shortly. Finally, I'd like to announce the formation of the Economic Recovery Council to be chaired by Dr. Jack Mintz. Its task is to think about and provide really practical advice to the Alberta government on the path through this economic crisis, and to think about the mid and long-term strategy for recovery and diversification. To be honest, to be blunt, ministers in our government and senior officials are focused on hour-by-hour and day-by-day crisis management. And that is why we are calling on some of our most respected leaders in business and civil society to help point the way forward for the emergence of Alberta's economy in the long term. A few minutes ago, Western Canadian Select Oil was trading at $5.60. Citibank is projecting that Brent oil could be trading on average as low as $5 in the second quarter of this year, which would probably mean that we would be paying people to take Alberta oil off our hands. So I don't like, look, I'm not saying these things to cause people to have a sense of despair, but I think it's important for Albertans to be psychologically and financially prepared for what is coming at us. This will be, I believe, the most challenging time in our economy for several decades. So given the depth of those challenges, it is essential that we begin developing